And we've just briefly mentioned it. Next up on the track is the first round of the men's 4x4 relay. On the outside, we've got the Ukraine with Pozniakov, Danilenko, Senik, and Butrim. There we have the Czech Republic with Sorm, Dzensky, Müller, and Maslak. For Germany, Schlegel, Juncker, Dammermann, and Treifts. France with Anne, Atin, and Jordier. Then next in lane 4 for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Cameron Chalmers, Dwayne Cowan, Yusuf, and Rooney. For Poland, very strong in the 4x4 relay, Kowaluk, Omelko, Ruszczeniak, and Jasinski. In lane 2, we've got Switzerland with Gehrig, Petrucciani, Burgunder, and Devonte. And on the inside, Sweden with Bergstrom, Martinsson, Forsman, and Francois. So the first 3 in each heat will go through, plus the next fastest qualifiers. They will go through to the final on Sunday. Poland, of course, set that world indoor record in Birmingham earlier this year, which was then bettered by collegiate team from USC, not ratified though because an athlete who wasn't American was in that group, and of course everyone has to be from the same nationality, but Poland certainly a strong team. The Czechs always good. Great Britain and Northern Ireland, of course, with Martin Rooney, one of the very accomplished relay runners in the 4th leg for that team. So Sweden in 1, Switzerland 2, Poland 3, Great Britain and Northern Ireland 4, France 5, Germany 6, Czech Republic in 7, and Ukraine in 8. Now it looks fairly evenly spread to me, although the Polish relay there, Kowaluk looking very strong, already making up ground on the British runner there. Of course, it looks slightly different in the relays with a staggering because the runners aren't actually going into the lanes. Germany, Treifts also looking good. Schlegel actually for Germany looking very good there. Poland looking very strong on the outside as well. The Ukraine looking good, but of course that lane draw has an impact on what we're seeing here. The Frenchmen also looking good there. As we wait and see how the first baton exchange happens, the French looking very good, so Maman Duhan. Great Britain and Northern Ireland also there. Dwayne Cowan now coming through strongly, just behind the Frenchman. So it's France from Great Britain, from Poland, and then it's close between the Ukraine and the Czech Republic. So France leading there with Mamoudou and from Dwayne Cowan, and then Rafael Omelko in 3rd for Poland. Dwayne Cowan now making a move on the shoulder of the French athlete, and the Polish Omelko also looking very strong as they approach the 3rd leg runner. All clear there, no drama so far. France still in the lead from Great Britain and Northern Ireland and Poland. Making up quite the gap there. Very strong out from the French, but I'm sure Rabbi Youssef might be just holding back a little and will reel him in a little. The Polish athlete Mateusz Rezniak also looking very good, and the Czech Republic now coming up on the shoulder of the Polish relay. France still in the lead from Great Britain. Now Rabbi Youssef moving outside a bit so they can prepare for the exchange, but now Rabbi Youssef with a very strong finish, close to that French athlete there as Martin Rooney takes the stick from Rabbi Youssef. Thomas Jordinet, the anchor leg for the French, and Martin Rooney now overtaking the Frenchman. He is leading, Poland still in 3rd, and Pavel Maslak for the Czech Republic already overtaken the Polish runner there. Very accomplished 400-meter man. Martin Rooney there looking strong for Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but the Frenchman is on his shoulder. Thomas Jardinet there, just on the outside. Look at that height difference between Martin Rooney and a Frenchman, but it looks to be Great Britain and Northern Ireland from France and the Czech Republic. Now they're taking it easy there, and Poland will have to wait and see, the world indoor champions, whether their time will get them through. 3:01.62 for Great Britain in first. France gets 3:01.67 in second. We'll just wait for these results to be confirmed. They're unofficial so far. And then, of course, the Czech Republic there, 3:02.52. Poland in fourth, 3:02.75. That's the time we'll have to remember. Ukraine, 3:05. Hang on, just missed. Oh, Poland, 3:02.75. Germany, 3:03.37.
So a recap on the race, as we can see the early stages. The Swiss and Swedish athletes getting tangled up. Explains why they handed over so far in arrears for that second changeover. The second changeover of the French and the English, and there's Ramo Youssef handing over to Martin Rooney.
That was really a very good exchange because they really approached very similarly, and Rooney just managing to sneak through there and just showing his pedigree.
And Rooney bringing them home. Of course, the British have probably Matthew Hudson-Smith to come in in the final. And British getting a European leading time. Not terribly relevant. There hasn't been too many outings of the 4x400 meter teams. It's a nice little accolade to have going into the final. Let's see the lead-off man, Abdullah Tutinsi. The Netherlands, Tony van Peppen is the lead-off man for them, followed by Bonavacia, Ankala and Smith. Good Spanish quartet. Okafor, Boer and Echevarri of the Spanish, and also the Belgians, who we expect to feature here, putting out very much their B team with only one Borley in it. That's Dylan Borley on the last leg. He's backed up by Watran, Van der Bemben and Sakor, the world under-20 champion. Italians are the European leaders. Then in lane 2, it's Romania. And on the inside, Croatians with Matej Ruzic leading off for them. There's the rest of the teams. Well, quick mention about the Belgians and the Spanish in lanes 4 and 5. Belgians, Watran, Van der Bemben, Sakor and Borley. So we're missing the twins, Jonathan and Kevin, who I'm sure we'll see in the final. Likewise, the Spanish have left their two best men on the sidelines. So they'll bring in Oscar Husilos and Bruno Hortelano for the final, assuming that they qualify. That's obviously the caveat. So from the inside, it's Croatia, Romania, Italy, Belgium, Spain, Netherlands, Turkey and Ireland. First three to go through automatically, and then the next two nations on time. Well, as athletics aficionados will be familiar with, really the stagger doesn't unwind until into the second leg, so it gives a slightly disproportionate view of things. Nevertheless, it is a good start by the Dutch lead-off runner, Tony van Dijken. He's gone past already, the lead-off men for Turkey and Ireland, also running well in lanes 4 and 5. Well, in particular in lane 4, it's the Belgian, Julian Watran, who's been a stalwart and usually the lead-off man for Belgian 4x400 meter relay teams in the last few years.
Well, the Belgians here running really well, and of course they must be absolutely delighted that they're being able to afford to leave out the Borlée brothers with this brilliant new challenge who we'll see on the third leg rather, after this, Jonathan Sakor.
Yes, we've got Robin van der Benben, who ran in the 200 metres. There was no space for him in the 400 metres. But up front, it's the Italians and the Dutch at the moment. The Dutch, well, the very good 400-metre runner, Lee Marvin Bombassia. And the Italians just being closed down now by van der Benben as they hand over to Sakor, the World Under-20 champion. Well, Echevarri in Spain, got a little bit of ground to make up, but they do have Samuel Garcia on the last leg. So it's the Dutch, Belgium and Italy. They're the 1, 2, 3 at the moment, and then a couple of metres back to Darwin Echevarri, as we see the Belgians then just sweep into the front. Jonathan Sakor will hand over to Dylan Borlée. Well, those blockage and trips there. Now it's the incoming runner. It's still rather messy handover. It does mean that the Belgians have been able to take advantage of that. They got a clear run at the changeover, and it's Dylan Borlée out in front comfortably now from Italy's David Ray. He's the ankle leg runner for the Italians. Samuel Garcia now got Spain back into contention. The Dutch have Nick Schmid on the last leg. But it's Dylan Borlée, and I think he's already starting to wind down. He's taking it pretty easy. Ray of Italy has got the Italians through to the final, and coming through to take the third automatic spot, Spain, with Samuel Garcia having the baton in his hand. Well, we'll give confirmation of who are the two non-automatic qualifiers.
But they're brilliant Belgian depth now in 400-metre running, isn't there? I mean, 3:02.55 there, and it could have been quicker. The brilliant Jonathan Sakor decided not to do the individual event, and the two Borlées to come into that team.
And of course, there was another Borlée brother at the World Under-20s in the relay, so we could have an entire Borlée relay at one point.
Well, they could, except of course,
Sakor.
like Sakor and van der Benben are good.
Both the British and the French were quicker in the first heat.
Well, yes, they were.
But they've got people to bring in themselves.
Well, and they've got Britain, they've got Hudson Smith, so I think something very special can come from him in the individual race. But nonetheless, no, I'm just admiring the sheer depth of the Belgians, who we've been admiring over the years. But mostly it's been built on the Borlée brothers being able to bring them through. But now they've got the depth that they can still win a heat comfortably without them.
And the guys, as you mentioned, the likes of Sakor, in relays in the past there was always one non-Borlée, and now we're actually remembering names of these talented athletes because they very well deserve a spot in those relays.
Well, we see Julian Watron there, who's been the lead-off man for so often, and the joke was that if they wanted to, they could have had it all Borlées and brought in their sister Olivia Borlée, and then would probably still be winning a lot of races.
Yeah.
Does Julian Watron a bit of a disservice, but not a bad joke.
But I think what we've seen from the two heats does set up the final very nicely. There's no question there's a depth of talent, because there were teams there who have been resting some of their top runners and still recording some pretty decent times.
And of course the runners-up in the first heat were faster than the race, the fourth and fifth place in this second heat. So it looks like Poland have secured their spot, as have Germany. So it looks like they will be joining the first three from this heat and the first three from the previous heat in the final.
Well, I wouldn't also discount the Spanish, because they've got two sub-45-second men to come in as well.
Let's hope no one got injured there. Strong hurdling performance there. That wasn't Thomas Barr, was it?
No, Barr came a bit later, but you're absolutely right. It was quite impressive, maybe that.
And of course, Barr's...
Actually, it was Thomas Barr, right?
Oh, there you go.
There
Well
we
done.
go. And of course...
I got the legs mixed up. I thought Barr had actually run a bit earlier.